This is Friday Happy Hour, week 40. If you are a female entrepreneur and you have questions, come on by and I'll give you a card for that question and tell you what it means. Do you have a question for the card, Samantha? Or did you stop by just to check what it was? Okay, Samantha says, I've been stuck in a bit of a rut lately and lost my get up and go a bit. What advice could you give? I'm normally quite driven, so it's a bit of a setback. Yeah, we'll see what the cards have to say about that. By the way, I'm just calling you by your first name and not your entire username so as not to identify you outside of Blab, because I will be posting the replay on YouTube as well, and I don't want to identify anyone who doesn't want to be identified. 10 of Swords. For each person, it's a different interpretation because I do this intuitively. I just want to check in on my notes just to make sure I don't miss anything, because this is one of those cards that normally scare people. It's nothing to be scared about, but Hollywood has made people scared of it. My intuitive hit on this is that you feel a bit powerless, and maybe you've had some loss or some kind of pain, but I think it's a lot about letting go and not resisting change, even if that means that you have to be less active to not burn yourself out. I think that's at the core of the problem, that you might have been driving yourself too hard, or you've had some kind of setback or loss, caused you some pain, and there's some mental resistance to getting back to it. How do you think that sounds, Samantha? Hi, Kiana. I think you're right. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. I hope you figure it out, because sitting in that seat is not fun. I've been there myself. So I've been down in the dumps. And just take it easy and get yourself back up slowly. So, Kiana, do you have a question for me? You're welcome, Samantha. Not yet. Okay. Just give it a bit of thought, because a well thought through question is good. That makes the result better. As I told the others, I locked the seat because of some men who asked unrelated questions, and they sort of stole the show from the people I was trying to help. So that's why the seat is locked. If you want me to open it, let me know, and I will do that. What type of questions can we ask? Well, you can ask pretty much anything that isn't related to death, divorce, disaster, or personal love relationships. I usually focus on female entrepreneurs and their businesses, but I do take other questions as well. Those who give best results are what to choose, what to do to move forward, and decisions you're trying to make, things like that. Thanks for the tweet, Kiana. Hi, Katrina. Good to see you here. I'm glad to see more women joining. And there she went again. I wonder if Blab is having issues or if it's me scaring people away. Oh, I don't know. Maybe they expect one of those characteristic fortune tellers. I'm not one of those. I'm very down to earth. Very, very much me. Kiana asked, will I go far in my business? And I asked what she what kind of business she's in, and she says direct sales. So we'll see. Will I go far in my business? And we got the High Priestess for that, which I believe is a pretty good card. I can't say so much about whether or not you will earn a lot of money, but you will be influential. It looks like a very intelligent woman. You have the ability to influence a lot of people. Hi, Gabriella and Ashley. Thanks for joining me. I think that you need to pay some attention to your dreams and intuitions to find out the best way to make that happen. Does that sound okay, Kiana? Yeah, she says yes. Cool. Ashley, do you have a question? I'm glad to see so many women in here today. First time on, yeah. Yes, I haven't seen you on this one. Is it your first time on Blab too? Yeah, I haven't been here that long either. I think I've been here for something like 4 weeks. It's good to see people interacting in the chat because that's the networking part of this Blab. It's a way for like-minded female entrepreneurs to connect. Let's see, I think I lost something out of my pocket. Ain't that typical? Yes, about your business or anything else you would like to ask. The only exception is I don't do death, divorce, disaster, or personal love relationships. I've pulled back everything and started from scratch. Back to my heart. That's a good idea. I've done that too. I didn't close my business, but I changed it to fit my heart, so to speak. So that's a good idea. Following your hunches is a great idea, at least in my book. So drop every cookie cutter out there and follow your intuition. Because if you follow their way, it's going to feel rotten. And then you're not going to succeed anyway. So it's better to just follow your heart. Formulas don't work for me either. I've had a couple of years to learn that. I took advice from 2 coaches that ended up not being so good for me. So I went back to what I love doing. So did you have a question, Ashley? Hi, Hallie. I would love to know how it's all going to come together for me. So is that some kind of action to take to make it all come together, or more just information around what it will be like? What it will be like, yeah. I'll see what I can find then. I'm not a business coach, but I tend to give unsolicited advice anyway. Bring it on, okay. That's my kind of response. I like that. Let's see what we get here. 4 of Cups. There may be some offer, or there will be an offer where you hold off on making a decision. Maybe because you're being too careful. Some kind of connection to meditation, contemplation, and turning your attention inward, but you already said that you're following your intuition. It sort of looks like you'll be either working at home or working alone in some way, because it also says that you'll be in your own little world. Did that make sense at all for you, Ashley? You do work from home. Well, it's a good way to do it when you want to do it your own way. Welcome, Anthony. and myself. Yeah. Well, then you are in your own world already. Maybe you need to get out of that on occasion. Sort of get out, meet people. Yeah. That could be a part of it. I need more connection, yeah. Both with like-minded people, but also for, I wouldn't say networking, but making connections with potential referrals, potential clients, and people who can spread your message. What kind of business do you do, Ashley? Speaker lead retreats, yeah. So you will get out. That in itself says you will get out of the house on occasion. If you lead retreats and speak, then it's hard to do all of that from home. I can see Rachel. I wonder if she's here. If you're here, Rachel, say hi. Hi, Rachel, you got in. Yay. Welcome, Danny. I'm glad you got in finally, Rachel. Maybe I can open the seat now since there are no suspicious males in here. So if anyone wants to jump in, feel free to do so. I don't mind talking. I think I can pretty much talk until your ears bleed. Oh, I won't be that bad. And I don't bite. I couldn't even do that over the internet. So. How do you jump in? You click on the open seat where it says open seat, and it'll give me a notification that you wanna jump in. And I think it either says open seat or it says join. There's Hallie. Hallie wanted to join me. There's a room for at least one more. I think there's room for two. There's Rachel. Yay! I get to meet people today. Good to see you. Some faces today too.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah. So what kind of business are you in, Hallie?
Hold on 1 second. I'm just notifying all my followers on Blab. Hold on. Okay. Well, that's good. The beta is improving. They can now notify followers that you're on the air. That's kind of cool.
Wait a minute. I'm going to get some headphones before I go nuts with the echo.
And I will also put my headphones on, yeah.
Hey. I like the idea of the meetup for female entrepreneurs. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think I'd like to combine it because just me sitting here waiting to do readings is just very boring to watch and it doesn't help anyone. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to do something more with it. And I like to interact with people. I like to talk to people. So it's, yeah, I think it's a good way to do it. I've talked a lot to Rachel. I usually cut the boring parts out and post it on YouTube.
Nice. That's interesting. I've never edited my blabs, but I suppose you absolutely can do that.
Yeah. I really don't like having long parts of silence in my videos. Mm-hmm. And even though you can pause the recording, there's no way to avoid that completely. Yeah. And I've also had a couple of run-ins with men asking unrelated questions for half an hour. So I cut those out.
We had a blab troll on the other night. That was fun.
Pushing his button, maybe.
He was a mess, man. He was scaring me. He was saying really awful things. So.
Oh dear. Block.
Can you ask them to leave, or kind of do you have the control?
Throw them out.
Well, you can control somebody if they're sitting. Like right now, Linda could actually click and delete me, but I cannot delete anybody because I'm not the host. But this guy was just in chat. He was just in the chat window, and he was just being really horrible to one of the people that my co-host and I had on, who was a very legitimate person. He was like, you know, we were doing a business transformation, and the guy was like working on, he had some really great stuff. He was doing some nonprofit stuff. He was a policeman. He had been, you know, building his business privately. And so we were talking to him, and all of a sudden this Blab troll like popped in and was just really bad. So
yeah, the host can delete messages in the chat, but I think that's as far as it goes.
Yep.
Mm.
So if anyone has a question for the cards, just ask, including the people in the chat. Just
And where does Rachel
Wow,
do?
everybody's breaking up now.
I know what you do, but you may have to introduce yourself to the others.
Yes, please.
Sure. My name is Rachel Z. Cornell, and I have a business. I should say I have a skill. I am able to get people to take action when action feels impossible, for whatever reason, for fear, for overwhelm, because you don't know what to do next. And I've turned that skill into a business called Pro Nagger. Pro Nagger. I'm a professional
The benevolent
nag.
bully.
Yes, the benevolent bully is what I call myself. And you have made a career out of getting people to take action when action's hard. So, and, you know, that pays off when you can take action when action's hard. Especially with businesses, there's stuff that, you know, is either unfun or scary.
Let me ask you something, because this is something that comes up for me in my practice all the time. I usually help people heal like lifelong traumas or things that have come up for a long time, you know, like a divorce where it's 10 years and, you know, you just can't get over it. The death of a spouse or something like that. And sometimes a bunch of childhood stuff. But when I get through with the client, it could be a month to 3 months. I think maybe my longest client was 4 months, but then they're done. Unless I'm doing business coaching with them, it's like they get to this place where it's like, thank you, I've healed all that stuff. Bye. And when you say you're a professional nagger, it seems like, you know, like if I were having a hard time taking action about something, I would be having a hard time for a temporary period of time, and I'd constantly need a new stream of clients. Is that right? Or do you have some like special thing that you do where you constantly need to nag people forever and they keep coming back?
You know, that's a great question. And I hope to give you enough skills, tools, and, you know, a bag full of tricks. So if you get stuck next time, you don't even need me. So I do want it to be a temporary thing. And I think, you know, you saying that people find a healing and move on is a compliment to your work. And, you know, if your clients are happy, excited, and healthy, they're bound to be sharing the word about your work. And so I have a steady stream of clients. To answer your question clearly, I have a steady stream of clients. People work with me for a certain amount of time. I like to keep it to 3 months. And then have them take a break so that they can practice the tools that they've learned. So I don't want long-term coaching necessarily. There are some people that will work with me, for example, all through their whole dissertation process. But once they're done with their dissertation, they usually are, they graduate and maybe come back to me again when there's something else that is kind of a little hiccup in their life. But yeah, it's not long term typically, and I think it's a compliment to the work that I do, and I think it's a compliment to the work that you do. I mean, it really says that you're doing something right. Don't you think?
The work I do, the reason I call it transformational coaching and not life coaching is it's guided. Like spirit tells me what to do, and sometimes their higher self is telling me what to do, and it's sort of a combination of both. So I really should just call myself like the facilitator, because that's really what I do. So
help them heal themselves in a way.
Yeah, I mean, and I think honestly, that's all a good coach ever does, because we all have the answers inside of ourselves already. So, but that said,
Yeah.
you know, I really do want them to move on as quickly as possible and get out of their own way. So
Yeah, but you get a lot of good word of mouth for that. Well, people are happy with
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never been with, I mean, knock on wood here, I've never had, you know, a problem with not having enough clients. I think that, you know, if you do good work, and, you know, you work with the right people, they're you know, they're what I call like
that's
trumpeter
nice.
swans. They sing
That's
your
nice.
song.
So, Linda, do you do tarot
So,
readings like full time? Is that what your work is, or?
Well, like I said, I can't say what I do in one sentence. Rachel knows this. Let's see, I'm a creative coach. I'm an idea generator, idea developer, graphic designer, web designer, tarot reader, rune reader, card reader, and probably a couple more things.
So you're a technologist with a spiritual bent.
she's a
Yes,
Renaissance
a
woman.
Renaissance woman, exactly.
I've been practicing as a witch since 1994, so I've picked up some interests that aren't mainstream, and that is also what selects my clients, because not all people can handle that.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Well, ladies, this has been a pleasure. I am going to hop off and go have the rest of my happy hour
Yeah.
being happy.
That's a good idea.
Thank you. Thank you both very much.
Great.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you
That
again
sounds
so much.
good.
Blessings.
Bye bye.
Good to meet you, Hallie.
Fun to meet new people. Yes, you
Yeah.
moved.
Oh, I moved. I've moved. So,
See
all
you.
right, my friend, I will see you later. How do we
I
stop
think
it?
you crossed yourself out. That little, there's a little black circle with a cross in it.
Cross myself out. Quick.
I'm gonna follow a couple of people before I stop today. Just so you know, it will be me stopping by and following you. And other than that, I'm just about to end this for tonight. I'm going to go and have my Friday evening before the day ends. It is 11:23 p.m. here now, so there's not much left of today. If you would like a reading, I do readings off of my website, and you can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and pretty much everywhere else on social media. So feel free to look me up. I am there as Linda Urson pretty much everywhere. Thank you for watching tonight, and bye-bye.